Today we are going to start with chapter 3, coordinate geometry. Now this topic might be very new for you, but let me just remind you what you have done already related to this topic. You know that how to represent a number on number line, okay? That you have already done. In class 8th, you have represented rational numbers. You have represented rational numbers on the number line. I just remind you that it is 2 by 3, or you can say 3 by 5, minus 11 by 6. This all numbers are rational numbers, okay? You have already done this in class 8th. In class 9th, you have represented irrational numbers. Irrational number means that is root 2, root 3, root 5, under root 9.3. Like this numbers you have represented in class 9th, okay? So as you can represent all these numbers on number line, so these are known as real numbers, okay? Real numbers are the numbers which can be represented on number line. Now, if I say you, suppose this is a tabletop, okay? This is a tabletop. And if I say you mark a point, suppose this point P, which is 5 centimeter away from left edge, okay? Consider this as bottom edge and this as left edge. So if I say you mark a point which is 5 centimeter away from left edge, then how you will do this? You will just take this left edge and you will see 5 centimeter distance, okay? Now at this 5 centimeter distance, you may get so many points. If this can also be a point 5 centimeter away. This can also be a point 5 centimeter away. So all the points that are lying on this line are 5 centimeter away from left edge. So which point will be considered as point P? Okay. So here this 5 centimeter away from left edge is not the sufficient information by which you can mark this point P. If I add one more information, suppose it is 9 centimeter away from bottom edge. If I add this information, it is 9 centimeter away from bottom edge, then you will see from this bottom edge, it should be 9 centimeter away. Then a point which is 5 centimeter away from here and 9 centimeter away from this bottom edge, this point will be considered as point P. Okay, so these two are the necessary information that is required to mark a point on this tabletop. Okay, so this idea that sometimes it is necessary to give the information or the distance from two reference line. One is the left edge and one is the bottom edge in this example. This idea gave rise to a new branch of mathematics, that is coordinate geometry. Okay, so here we will not take just one number line, we have to take two number lines here. Okay, now let us suppose I am taking one number line like this. So here we consider the center point as 0 and here we take the positive numbers, or you can say positive integers. Okay, this is the horizontal one. Suppose for now I am taking one vertical number line also, where this will be 0, this will be -1, -2, this will be 1, this will be 2, this is 3. Okay, now this 0 is considered as the reference point. We mark all the numbers considering this 0 as a reference point. So this is known as origin. Okay, likewise here this is known as origin. And here we have a positive numbers where the distance of each is equal. Here also distance between each is equal. Okay, I am taking this two number lines because we need two lines to mark a point. Okay, in this coordinate geometry. Now what I am doing, I am just overlapping this two axis or this two number line at 0, at origin. Okay, they intersect each other perpendicularly at origin. Then it will look like somewhat like this. So we have arranged this two number lines such that they are intersecting perpendicularly at 0. Okay, this 0 and this 0 will overlap each other. Okay, now here this horizontal line is known as x-axis and this vertical line is known as y-axis. Okay, and the plane on which this line occur is known as coordinate plane. Is coordinate plane, or you can name is Cartesian plane, or you can name this also XY plane. Okay, so this is the coordinate plane, or you can name Cartesian plane or XY plane, on which this two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis, intersect each other perpendicularly at 0. And this intersection point is known as origin. This intersection point is known as origin, and this axis known as coordinate axis. Coordinate axis. Okay, this is axis. A, X, ES is used for plural. Okay, so as we have two axes here, so I have taken A, X, ES, that is the plural form of axis. So this axis is singular form. Okay, so I hope you understood about coordinate plane, what is Cartesian plane, what is XY plane, what are axes, what is origin. I hope you understood this thing. Okay, now let us move further with this. Now the two things that we need to understand in this chapter is, first one will be how to mark a point on this Cartesian plane, and second will be, if you have a already marked point, then how to locate that point. If you have already a point marked on this Cartesian plane, then how to locate, what is the position of that point. Only these two things you need to understand in this chapter. Okay, this is the easiest one in this. If you understand this video completely, this class completely, then you will be able to do both the things. Okay, now you must know few more things related to this coordinate plane. Okay, so this is x-axis and this is y-axis intersecting at origin. Okay, this portion of x-axis is considered as positive x-axis. This portion is considered as negative x-axis, and this above portion of y-axis is considered as positive y-axis, and the bottom portion is considered as negative y-axis. That's why I have represented it like x and x dash, y and y dash. Now this two axis divides the coordinate plane into 4 quadrants. Okay, divides into 4 quadrants. This is first quadrant, this will be second quadrant, this is third quadrant, this is fourth quadrant. Okay, this will be fourth quadrant, and you have to number it like this only. This will remain first all the time. This is second, this is third, and this is fourth. Now it is very important to know that this quadrant are in this position only. Okay, now any point on this Cartesian plane is represented as xy like this. Okay, any point on this Cartesian plane, suppose I mark here point P, this is represented as xy. This is known as the coordinates of the point. Coordinates of the point, where this x is also known as abscissa and y is also known as ordinate. This abscissa is the distance from y-axis, and this ordinate is distance from x-axis. Okay, and always x will be marked first and then followed by y. X is also known as abscissa, y is also known as ordinate, and x is the distance from y-axis and y is the distance from x-axis. Okay, now I'll give you an example how to mark a point. Now I've considered this coordinate plane, and in this coordinate plane, suppose I have to mark P, that is 3, 4. Suppose I need to mark this point. Now this will be very important for you for this chapter. Okay, now I need to mark this point P, that is 3, 4. Then I'll start from this origin. Okay, and x is 3, y is 4. So I'll move 3 units on x-axis. Now we have plus 3 here. So I will move in the positive direction. So 0, then 1, 2, 3. So I reach to this point. Now I have y plus 4. So plus 4 is the top part of this y-axis. Okay. So I'll move 4 units to the above part of y-axis. That is 1, 2, 3 and 4. I am just referring to this lines. Okay. So I reach here. So I moved from origin 3 units in positive x-axis, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, and positive y-axis I have moved 4 units, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I reached to this point. So this point will be 3, 4, that is point P. Now if you see this point is 3 units from this axis. I have moved 1, 2, 3 from this axis. So this is 3 units, and this is 4 units from this axis. 4 units. Okay. So if you see this x is what? Distance from y-axis. And this y is what? Distance from x-axis. Okay. X is 3 and it is the distance from y-axis, and y is 4. It is the distance from x-axis. Okay. So like this we need to mark any point. Suppose let us take a point Q, that is -2 and 2 suppose. So here x is what? -2 and y is 2. So if x is 2 here, then we need to move in negative direction because we have -2. Okay. So from 0 again we will start 1 and 2, negative direction of x-axis. So we reached to -2 here. And now y is 2. So we will move in positive direction of y-axis. So that will be 1 and that is 2. Okay. So this point will be Q, that will be -2 and 2. Okay. Now this will be 2 units from this and 2 units from this axis. Okay. Now if you see here in this quadrant, in this first quadrant that we have seen here, all the coordinates will be positive x and positive x only, because this consists of positive x and positive x. So all the quadrants, all the coordinates that you mark in first quadrant will be in the form of plus plus. Likewise, here if you see, x is negative and y is positive in the second quadrant. So all the coordinates that you mark here will be in the form minus and plus. Okay. First x is marked always. So x is negative here and y is positive here. So for third quadrant, if you see like that, x is negative and y is also negative. So this will be minus minus. Okay. If you see for fourth quadrant, then x is positive and y is negative. So this will be plus minus. So what will happen with this information is, if I say you need to mark R -2 -3, then you instantly know that minus minus, this will lie in third quadrant only. We have seen minus and plus. So minus and plus will lie in second quadrant. And we got this point in second quadrant only. Plus 3 and plus 4, that will always lie in first quadrant. And we got this in first quadrant only. Okay. So this sign will help you to locate the points on the coordinate plane. Now let us see how to read the marked point. Now suppose if I ask what are the coordinates of this point P. This point P is already marked in the coordinate plane. I need the coordinates of this point. Okay. So what I will do, I'll just mark two perpendicular lines on x-axis and y-axis. So this is y-axis, that is y dash, and this is y. This is x and this is x dash. So what I will do, I'll just mark two perpendicular lines, one on the y-axis and one on the x-axis. Okay. So this point is, if you see this distance, so this distance is what? This 3. Okay. So this will be this distance. So if you see this one, this is 3 units, but in negative direction of y-axis. And if you see this distance, so this is 4 units, but in positive direction of x-axis. So positive direction of x-axis, that is 4. So this will be 4. And distance from x-axis, that is y. So that will be -3. Okay. Or you can also see it like P point on x-axis, it was on 4. So we have written x as 4. and on y-axis it was on -3, so we have written -3 here. So like this we need to read the point, we need to mark the coordinates. If I say you any other point somewhat like this, something Q here, okay, what are the coordinates of point Q? So again what you will do, you will drop two perpendicular lines, one on x-axis and one on y-axis. So on x-axis we reached to -2, so it will be -2 for x, and on y-axis we reached to 1, so it will be 1 for y. Okay, so -2, 1 will be the coordinates of this point Q. So if you again see here, it is minus plus, and minus plus always lies on second quadrant, and we are getting the point on second quadrant. Okay, if you see this, it's plus and minus, so plus minus always lies on fourth quadrant, and we are getting the point on fourth quadrant. Okay, so this was all about the basic concept related to this chapter. If you are done with seeing this particular class or this particular video, you can solve all the questions that are given in your NCERT book. In next class, we'll see exercise 3.2 and 3.3. Thank you.